The Steam Winter Sale is on, and with over 3,400 games on sale for less than $5, we've searched through them to give you 11 suggestions for games that you might not notice in the shuffle and bump of a Steam sale, but really should have. But before we get to that, let me remind you or inform you that we're running a giveaway this month, giving out 2 Steam games a day to subscribed commenters on the daily video. And when we hit 22,000 subscribers, and every 1,000 after that, we'll be giving away an additional 25 games. So comment down below which of these games you're interested in order to enter. Now, onto the list. Our first game is not an unknown gem, but has gotten a fair amount of press recently. However, I still find people that haven't heard of Vampire Survivors, or who ignore it since the graphics are old school. But I assure you, the gameplay is fantastic as you run around spraying flames and garlic and whatnot at the hordes of undead that want you to join them. And once you're in that perfect flow state of dodging and weaving and choosing your next upgrade, and the perfect timing to pick up that chest or floor chicken, you'll forget about the pixel art and just enjoy the game. And for $3.99, your Steam wallet will enjoy it too. So you run around and suck up slimes and feed them things and sell their poop. Or you can get them to eat another slime's poop and form a new kind of slime that usually produces a more valuable kind of poop. But if you mix the wrong kind of poop with the wrong kind of slime, it will turn evil and eat the other slimes. And all of these slimes are being housed in various cages to keep them from wandering away, and you can spend your earnings to expand and automate the process. So basically it's like Stardew Valley mixed with a bit of Pokemon, maybe, or Tamagotchi, perhaps. Well, it's different and expansive, and a whole lot of fun for only $4.99. We've all heard the trope of the prophesied powerful wizard or hero of ages that will come and tackle the temple of so-and-so, or answer the 1,000 riddles of what's-his-face and become the hero of ages, or win the Tri-Wizard Cup and defeat Lord Voldemort. What? No, he's dead. I'm gonna say his name. Sheesh. But Wizard of Legend is sort of what would happen if this was set today. It would be televised, and there would be people selling wizard-shaped ice creams outside the temple. So it is with Wizard of Legend. Can you defeat the 4 elemental lords in their challenge lairs? Will you face the often claustrophobic fighting spaces with an arsenal of attacks, but only the occasional iframe and good planning to keep you alive? Longtime action roguelike players will be thrown off for a while since dashing doesn't protect you from damage 100%, but give it a few deaths and you'll be ready to become the, well, you know. Speaking of capitalism, if there was a dungeon full of valuable loot, you'd know that some entrepreneur is going to set up shop and start selling stuff to adventurers, and probably start selling the stuff they bring out. And that is the entire premise of Moonlighter. Adventure during the night, shopkeep by day, plumbing the depths of the local mystical dungeon to gather items to sell, or scouring it for requested items. If you die in the dungeon, you'll be spit back out with only the stuff in your safe pouches, but survive, and you'll have plenty to stock your shelves, and eventually upgrade your shop, or the town itself, and become the salesman of legend. And who knows, you might even become the wizard of legend if you get to the end of the dungeons. I did forget to mention that Wizard of Legend has a couch co-op mode, but if you and your friends are not the co-op kind, might I suggest you try Crawl. It's all about killing your friends, working with some of your friends to kill others, and surviving to the end of the dungeon so you can face the big boss, which happens to just be your friends again, and eventually becoming the Barbarian of Legend. Up to 4 of you can battle it out to be the hero. The other 3 will then be ghosts that populate the dungeon rooms with slimes, or trigger traps, or will even be able to instantiate as monsters to kill the hero. The ghost that kills the hero revives into the next hero, and the cycle continues. Level up your ghost powers and your hero powers as you make your way through the many levels of danger in Crawl. Hob gets, like, no press, yet it's a fantastic action fighting game. It's almost Metroidvanian in its level design, and the artwork is gorgeous. You are awoken by one of the Stone Guardians to fix the colony ship on its way to a new world. Yet an alien infection has taken over, spreading throughout the ship, choking off areas and killing the caretakers. Your arm, even, is infected, but eventually replaced by a golem arm, which allows you to fight with power beyond human ability. Open up the path, fix the ship, and make your way to the heart of the problem to face the final choice in Hob for $4.99. I love me a good board game and rolling a pile of dice. So when I saw that Sagrada was on Steam for $4.99, I knew it needed a place on this list. At the start of the round, a whole bunch of dice are rolled, and you and your opponents then must in turn order pick one to place on your stained glass window. Completing rows and columns and colors will provide you with points, but those pesky dice won't roll right. And what's worse, your opponents will take the dice you were hoping to use. But the game provides ways to mitigate some of that bad luck. You can also use the extra point cards to add an extra dimension to your game in Sagrada for $4.99. Okay, so if you and your crew get together for the holidays, or even if you just take time off to game together, you might want to check out Iron Brigade. It's cheap at $4.49 and has hours and hours of co-op third-person tower defense in a mech goodness. You're in a mobile trench, and you can attach an arsenal of weapons to it. And you'll need to defend various things from the hordes of checks notes, animated television monsters sent by a digital Russian and his pet bear. So, you obviously don't buy it for the story, but the gameplay is fantastic, throwing down miniature towers left and right, and taking to the guns yourself to clear out the enemies before they clear you out. Want to be the long-range sniper support? Want to be the shotgun medic? Want to be the machine gun flak cannon bruiser? You get to choose in Iron Brigade. We have already talked about my love of board games, and another type of board game that video games use a lot is cards. Iris and the Giant is a card-driven roguelike where you're trying to help Iris confront her past and inner demons and reach mental clarity. Gather new cards, flush out bad cards from your deck, and play them carefully, as you'll need a strong hand to get past the later levels. There are also a mountain of unlockable cards, perks, secret passages, and friends to take with you, as well as challenges and different modes, all packed into a compelling game of Iris and the Giant for $4.49. If you have a couple of controllers on hand and are going to spend some time with friends and family this season, even if they're not terribly great gamers, you have got to check out HOLEHO. It allows up to 4 players to control little potato people in funny hats, flinging and swinging to the goal over dozens of levels. Help each other as you join hands to work as a team and reach the end. But just don't get confused and drop your whole group into the pits of doom. Along the way, you'll get to unlock new hats and faces for your potato people, and can even play the game solo if you enjoy pain. And for only $3.99, this is still one of my group's favorites. And as the extra bonus icing on the top of the list here, let me introduce you to my pick of the litter. YUKOS Island Express is a Metroidvanian pinball game where you are a dung beetle postman trying to deliver all the mail to the island. And along the way, you'll enter pinball chutes and collect a ton of fruit and power-ups and friends. The art is fantastic, the music is delightful, and the only thing I would change from the game is that I'd give it a DLC or a sequel so that I could play even more of it. And as one of the cheapest games on this list, for only $3.99, I highly encourage you to check out YUKOS Island Adventure. So what games are on your list this year? Did we forget any that you'd like to highlight? Let us know in the comments, and do indeed comment, as that will also enter you in our daily giveaway for 2 Steam games. And until tomorrow, I'll play with you again later.